Now we're just going to see what we can get done today. I do have a to-do list. If you follow me on Instagram, Grammy underscore in underscore the underscore kitchen. Check it out. You'll see my to-do list there. So we're just going to see what we can get done. Hello family, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Vicki and you're with Grammy in the kitchen. I am off work today, so I decided to make a to-do list of things that I need to get done today or tomorrow. So we're just going to see how far we can get today. Whatever we don't do today, we will do tomorrow. But so far I have green beans rinsing in the water, just soaking to wash off any of the debris. Those were gifted to me. You saw those when we did our Azure haul. And I've already made my pizza dough. I had to wait on the mozzarella from Azure to get my pizza made. We got that. We got it shredded. We got them in the freezer. I took one bag, stuck it in the refrigerator. Now I'm going to put the pizza doughs in the refrigerator and let them do their rise. Half of these we're going to do something different. Can't wait for you to see that. So come on people, get your aprons on and let's get this day started. So this is the bag of beans that was gifted to us at our last Azure order from Bill and Tammy. So all I'm doing is I'm filling the sink up with cold water so we can get these clean from all the debris and the ground stuff. You know what I'm talking about. So we're just filling up the sink. And I am going to be canning these in pint-sized jars. And by all websites, it says they need to be processed for 20 minutes. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now Friday morning, you know I pick up my raw cow milk every week. And I need to get in here and separate the heavy cream from my 2 half gallons. So I have my pint-sized jar. We're going to put the heavy cream, and I have a 1/8 measuring cup. Find that the easiest. It's been sitting in the refrigerator for 2 days, so the separation is perfect. Oh my goodness. That is so beautiful. I'm going to go in here with the spatula just to remove all that heavy cream from the neck of this bottle. Not wasting it, not wasting that. Oh, this is so thick and gorgeous. I think I want to need a second jar. All right, that's it. I can get it in there. Perfect, perfect. So I have it, my heavy cream labeled, and this is just going to go in the freezer. And the milk, it's going to go back in the refrigerator. I went ahead and washed all the green beans, and I don't know how many pints I'm going to get out of this. But between the pork barbecue and the chicken in the jars, ugly chicken, I only have 9 pint jars left, both wide mouth and regular mouth. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to can 9 pints. Whatever's left over, we'll just have for dinner tonight. Or if I wanted to, I can actually blanch these and put them in freezer bag just like I do with the azure green beans that we get in the 5-pound box. But on the stove back here, I have a pot of water coming up to a boil. Right here I have the All-American 921 canner, because green beans is a low acid food, so it has to be pressure canned. So we're pressure canning these. For pints, they need to be pressured for 20 minutes. I'll leave a message somewhere right in here on how long to pressure quarts. But since it's just the husband and myself, I'm just doing these in pints. So I'm going to go ahead and get the burner on that. And I'm going to turn it down to a medium-low. I want to rest the lid on it just to hold in some of that heat. We got water boiling back here for the green beans. I have the canner on. Now we need to go ahead and pick through these beans and get them in jars. And the jars I have in the sink, they've been washed, rinsed, and sitting in some hot water. So these have been sitting in my refrigerator for 4 days. And I need to get to them. So I'm just going to pick off the ends, and I'm going to cut them about 1.5 inches in length. Alright, let me do all of these, and then once I get this done, I'll bring you back, and then we'll go ahead and get these in jars and in the canner. I'm just going to do a very simple canning, just water and salt, and I am using Redmond's real salt. You can use canning salt if you want. You could use Himalayan salt, but my advice to you is stay away from the blue canister of salt from the grocery store, the one with the little girl in the umbrella, because there is no health benefits in the salt that you get at the store, the blue canister. It is literally just sodium. There's no minerals, no vitamins, no nothing in that. So just get you a good quality salt and start using that for all your cooking. Alright, so let me get this all done. I don't know how long this is going to take me, but once we get them all done, our water will be boiled for the going to the jars, and our canner should be very close to ready. Alright, so I'll see y'all in just a few more minutes. And we are done. I have my Redmond's real salt. I have the vinegar. I have a 1/4 teaspoon napkin for the vinegar. My 4-jar lids. My rings. I went in and dumped a pot of hot water into the sink to make sure those jars are hot, hot, hot. I have another pot of water coming to a boil on the oven to go in the jars. The canner is on very low just to keep the water warm. Now remember, I tell you this all the time. If you're hot packing, hot contents in a hot jar in a hot canner. And that's what we're doing. We're hot packing. So our water to go in our jars to go with our beans needs to be hot. The jars are in the sink and hot water needs to be hot. The canner with the water in it coming up to a slow simmer needs to be hot. So we're just waiting on the water. Our water is boiling. Let's go ahead and get these in some jars. Alright, got my hot jars here. Let's go ahead and get some beans in here. We want a 1-inch headspace, and it's usually that bottom, it's going to be that bottom ring right there. We're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we're going to fill these with hot water. We're going to take our debubbler. Make sure you get all the bubbles out. Make sure we're still at our 1-inch headspace. Put our new lids on. And a ring, just fingertip tight. And we're going to put these 3 in the canner. And repeat. And repeat the process. You know what I forgot to do? Wipe the rims down. They're going to have to come out, and we're going to wipe those rims. I cannot do this because I don't want to waste them. So we will take our vinegar solution on a paper towel, wipe the rims, and I'm going to go ahead and wipe the lids just to make sure we had no debris on our jar lids or the rim of the jars. Alright, so I'm glad we caught that mistake before we went any further. Alright, again, fingertip tight, back in the canner. Alright, now we can proceed with the others. The husband is walking around, so if you hear him or see his feet, just so you know he is home today. Now we're going to go ahead and fill this up with water. Do that 1-inch headspace, which I went a little bit too far on that one, but we can fix that, no problem. I'm just going to take a couple green beans out. We got it too full. We're going to take this water out. Put it back over here in this pot till we get to that 1-inch headspace. Go ahead and debubble. This time we're not going to forget our vinegar wipe on the rims. There we go, we got this. Put a new 4-jar lids right on the top and our rings. Fingertip tight, guys. Now these are going to go in the canner. Okay, I shorted myself a couple rings. Let me go get those really quick. Next 3 going in the canner. Went ahead and grabbed a 1/2 pint jar. So I'm going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon in here of salt. So I'm going to end up with 2 1/2 pint jars of green beans and 9 pints. That is perfect, perfect. Get these rims wiped. 2 more lids. Rings just fingertip tight. And in the canner. We're going to put the lid on. Lock it down with the wing nuts. Something's up with me and vinegar today for some reason. I am going to add the rest of that vinegar in the canner. Now we're going to lock down those wing nuts. We're going to do a visual to make sure the lid and the base are evenly spaced around. Okay, we look good. Let's go ahead and crank that lid down really well. Now we're going to go ahead and start canning. But first we need to have steam come out of the peck right here, and it's got to come out full force steam. And that steam has to release for 10 minutes. After that time, we'll put our weight on My altitude is I am 10 pounds of pressure. So we'll put it on the number 10 with the weight. We'll let the gauge go up to 10 pounds. The weight will start jiggling. And once that happens, that's when our timer starts. We need to pressure can pints, green beans for 20 minutes. I know I have some half pints in there, but we're just going to do them all for 20 minutes. After that time, we'll turn our stove off. We'll let it release pressure naturally. Once it gets down to 0, we'll take the weight off, let it sit for 5 minutes, remove the wing nuts, open the lid away from us so we don't get a steam bath on our face. We'll rest the lid on the base for another 5 minutes, take the lid off, let it rest for another 5 minutes, and then we could go ahead and start taking our jars out. Alright, so let me get you caught up now. So the canner is done. I got the burner off. I'm waiting for it to come down pressure naturally. I went ahead and got all the dishes done. Yay me. Now we're going to make Almond Joys. Almond Joys are one of my favorite candies. When I say one, I mean one. I like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I like anything with peanut butter, anything with coconuts, my favorite. But we're going to make Almond Joys. So on this baking sheet I have 30-ish of almonds, and these are raw almonds that I need to toast. So I have the oven on 350 and we're just going to toast them for about 10 minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and get ready on the other component. So we have powdered sugar, coconut, semi-sweet chocolate chips, sweetened condensed coconut milk, and then we're going to need a pinch of salt. Now the coconut milk for the recipe says it needs to be a 7-ounce can. Well, Azure's Market comes in the 6.15 ounce can. I'm not going to open up another can just to get a 0.85, which is approximately around 3/4 of an ounce. I'm not going to worry with it. So we're just going to use this 6.15 ounce can. So let's get everything started. And I will link this recipe down below if you want to follow along. So in our bowl, we need to add our sweetened condensed milk. And you can use regular or coconut. I like the flavor of the coconut milk. I want to get all that goodness off the top. I'm not going to throw that in the trash. Alright, let's get this in here. I don't really care that much away that lid open, but that's okay. We can make this work. I'm just going to stir that in. Mix it all together with the oils and the sugar and the coconut. Oh, that smells so good. We need a cup of powdered sugar. It is really raining here today. We're going to mix that in with the condensed sweetened milk. I don't know if you can hear that on camera, but it is really, really raining. We need a tablespoon of vanilla. Let's go ahead and add a pinch of salt. Mix those ingredients together. We need 2.5 cups of shredded coconut. We'll transfer it to a glass dish. Because we have to actually put this in the freezer for 30 minutes so that it will firm up and we'll be able to mold it into little candy bars. The almonds have roasted for 10 minutes. We're going to let these cool off. And we still have our coconut mixture in the freezer to firm up. When the almonds cool off and the coconut mixture firms up, we're going to go ahead and get started on making some delicious almond joys. Got our coconut mixture. I have our almonds that are cooled. The same pan has cooled down, so we're going to use that to put the same parchment paper on it that we used to roast our almonds. Alright, it's nice and firm. I'm going to use this tablespoon measure spoon because I like the way it's shaped. We'll see if we can make a success out of this. So I'm just filling it up with the coconut mixture. And hopefully I can get it out. See if we can get that out to be a perfect almond joy. Oh, that looks good. And we're just going to repeat this process until we get all of this coconut mixture into a shape. I'll bring y'all right back once we get all of this coconut shaped up. Now we're going to go ahead and put an almond on each one. That was perfect. We ended up with 32 pieces. Now this needs to go in the freezer so it can firm up really, really hard. So when we dip it in the chocolate, it won't fall apart. We're going to stick these in the freezer for about 30 minutes to an hour. And in the meantime, the husband has requested chocolate chip cookies, and that's what we're going to make. Forgot to take the butter out of the refrigerator last night in preparation of making the chocolate chip cookies today. So I just microwaved it for 45 seconds. It's partly melted, partly softened, but that's okay. And we have a cup of white sugar and a cup of brown sugar. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we're going to mix this up until the butter and the sugars are all blended together. We have 2 eggs we're going to add in one at a time. We're going to go ahead and add 3 cups of flour. One teaspoon of baking soda. A half a teaspoon of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of salt. Just mixing that into the flour. Alright, this is ready. Now Now we just need to add our chocolate chips. Let's go ahead and get our paddle out of here. Make sure we get all that goodness off of this paddle. We do not want to waste any of this ingredients. Good quality ingredients. It makes a good quality cookie. We are preheating the oven to 350 degrees. Let's go ahead and put in 2 cups of chocolate chips. This is a semi-sweet chocolate chip. Usually I will mix semi-sweet and bittersweet, but we're doing all semi-sweets today. Since we already had this in the kitchen for the almond joys. All right, let's get that mixed in really well. I'll tell you all the time, I love this little spatula. I need to get some more someday. I absolutely love this thing. Oh yeah, that looks good right there. Oh, love chocolate chip cookies. The husband loves chocolate chip cookies. I'm just making sure we have chocolate chips all through this beautiful dough. And that looks good. Got the big baking sheet out, lined with parchment paper. I have 2 large spoons. And I'm just basically eyeballing. They're probably about 2 tablespoon size. I like big cookies, but you can make these any size you like. I'm just forming it from one spoon to the other, plopping them down on the baking sheet, and then we're just going to bake these until they're nice and golden brown. In a 350 degree oven. And just repeat the process until all the cookie dough is gone. Oven is up to temperature and it's waiting on. Did you see that? Crazy. Oven is up to temperature and it's waiting on us to put this pan in there. Okay, we have 12 cookies on our cookie sheet. Just getting them nice and spaced out so they have room to expand. And now we're going to put these in the oven. And I'll let you know how long that takes. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get our green beans out of that canner. I've let it unpressure naturally, and I've already taken the weight off of it. We're going to let it sit like this for 5 minutes. Now we're going to take the lid off, but we're going to tilt it off away from us. Oh, it looks so pretty. Now we're going to let it sit like this for 5 minutes before we remove the jars. They're so pretty. Alright, it's been 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and take them out. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Looks like they all sealed on the top wrap. And they all sealed beautiful. I cannot say enough about 4-jar lids. I love these lids. If you can, or if you want to learn how to can, or if you want to dabble into canning, whether it's water bath or pressure canning, you need to go to 4 jars. Unfortunately, I do not have a discount code for them, but I'm sure if I reached out to them, they'll probably give me one. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. But just go to YouTube, put in canning, whatever you're trying to can. Chances are you'll find somebody who does home preservation and home canning will have a discount code for 4 jars until I can get my own. But cookies are cooking. Almond Joys are in the freezer. Beans are done. Pizza is still rising. The cookies took 20 minutes. And they should still be soft and chewy. Alright, got the first batch off. Now we're going to go ahead and get started on the second batch. And we're just going to repeat the same process. Cook them for 20 minutes until we run out of cookie dough. Pan is hot, so they're probably going to melt just a little bit on here, but that's okay. They're going to cook anyway. By the time we finish this, it'll be time to put the chocolate on those Almond Joy bars. I'm so excited about that. Second batch is going in the oven for 20 minutes. But don't they look gorgeous? Perfect color on the bottom. Oh, husband is going to be so happy. So happy. Just scooting them over so when the second batch comes out, we'll have room to put them on this parchment paper also. Alright, second batch is out of the oven. We'll move them over here to this parchment paper. And we're going to go ahead and just repeat the process. Cookies are done. We ended up with 3 dozen, so that's 36 plus 4, 40. We ended up with 40 cookies. And as soon as this last batch cools off and I can get these in a container and I can get my island back, we're going to go ahead and get our Almond Joys all smothered in chocolate. And then we'll be done today. We didn't get everything done, but we got a lot done. We got our green beans canned. We got some chocolate chip cookies done, and we got to finish the almond joys, and then tomorrow I think I'll show you the pizzas. You're actually going to see that video on Thursday, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing different with half of those pizzas. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when I have a video coming out, so you can see what we're going to do different with that pizza. Plus, I took a chicken out of the freezer yesterday, and we haven't cooked it yet. We're going to eat leftovers today, and tomorrow I'm going to do something very fun with that. So that also will be on Thursday's video. The cookies have cooled. Let's get them in a bowl. So I have a glass bowl. I'm just going to go ahead and put all the cookies in here. They don't fit. I might have to eat one or two. Okay, they're in the bowl. Oh, I left one. So the almond joys are frozen perfect. Now this recipe called for 20 ounces of melted chocolate chips. I have 10 ounces in here because I don't want to do 20 ounces and it starts getting hard and I have to go and microwave it again. So we're doing half the recipe. But I had a feeling that might be close enough. So we're just going to microwave this for 1 minute. But every 10 seconds we're going to go in there and stir it to make sure it's melting evenly. The bowl is hot. That was 55 seconds. And now I'm just going to sit here and stir it to get all the leftover bits and pieces in here melted. We're going to just let the hot chocolate in this bowl do the rest of the work for us and get the rest of it all melted. Now if you don't like almonds, you can actually leave the almonds off and that will give you mounds. Okay, I think we are almost there. Okay, so this is a piece of parchment paper from where we cooked the cookies. We're just going to use those. So we're going to take one of our coconut almond pieces. I have a butter knife and a spoon. Just going to get some of that excess chocolate off and put it on our parchment and repeat. Because the coconut is frozen, it's actually cooling off the chocolate on the candy bar perfect. I'm just flipping them around in the chocolate, make sure it gets all nice and coated. Holding it up in the air to try to get as much of the drips off as possible. Laying it on the parchment paper. Alright, so we're just going to repeat this till we get all the candies covered. So I had to add another half a cup of chocolate chips and melt that. And this is the last one we have. And I am just going to scrape this bowl until we can get it completely covered as much as possible. If it's not, it's okay. I'm not going to melt just a couple chocolate chips just for this last piece of candy. Alright, that looks good. They need to go back in the refrigerator so that we can get the chocolate to firm up on these little candy bars. But they are so cute. I think that's all I can get on here. And I'm going to put these in the refrigerator just so the chocolate can firm up. But the cookies are done and the green beans look beautiful. As soon as the Almond Joys, the chocolate firms up on it, we're going to do a taste test on those. And we'll do a taste test on the cookies, even though we know these cookies are good. And on the next video, which will be out on Thursday, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the pizzas. And I have a chicken I took out of the freezer, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that also. So the chocolate on our Almond Joys have firmed up beautiful. And here we go, some beautiful Almond Joys. Let's take a taste out of this one. So we have chocolate all the way around it. It's so cute. That is so good. Mmm. Family, if you like Almond Joys, this is a must-have. They are so good. I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me while we got our green beans in cans. We did get our pizza dough made, but today, which you'll see in 2 days, we're going to make our pizzas. It's going to be a good one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check it out. We made a batch of chocolate chip cookies, the husband's favorite. And we got some Almond Joys, which is my favorite. So if you don't mind, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. While you're at it, please subscribe. I would love to have you part of the Granny family. So until next time, when we make our pizzas plus cook dinner, y'all have a blessed day. Bye, family.